But I do want to say this one last thing before we ask questions. How do you get good government? How do you get good government? You stop voting in bureaucrats and lifelong, career-minded, politically minded politicians. We've been doing that for way too long. And I join Mr. Yearout saying I'm guilty. I'm guilty of doing that before, but I'll never do it again. Lord willing. Thank you. All right, we have some questions.
How do you do what you think you need to do and still understand and go by the laws that have been set down by the legislature, both state and federal?
Well, that goes right back to the oath. The sheriff takes an oath of office, and he takes his oath to the people and to the Constitution. I did that in the U.S. Marine. I took an oath to protect the people and the U.S. Constitution.
So you don't need to abide by the laws of the state?
A lot of the laws that are coming out now under RCW rules, you have to go back to 1959. The Washington Supreme Court ruled that a lot of those were not law at all. They were called superficial law. It appears to be law.
So say one of those laws has been broken, you don't bother to do it?
Well, I think a lot of it's going to come up with ethical circumstances, too. There's a certain amount of ethics that go into every job, like even if you're a prosecutor and even things the county commissioners have to handle, there's ethics involved, too. It's going to be situational in some things, but there is the law. The law is the law. But a sheriff is not obligated to enforce any law that's not constitutional. That's why he takes an oath to the people. That's what keeps the sheriff straight. But the problem with most officials is we don't hold their feet to the fire. And if I get in that office, you have to hold my feet to the fire and make sure I'm being loyal to you first. But remember, my loyalty is to you and the U.S. Constitution and the state Constitution. So, but nothing that's been legislated can be enforced. That's the bottom line. It has to be legislated. That's why it's a representatory government. That's why we're a republic. It has to be legislated. But I will not enforce anything that's not constitutional. Any more questions? Sir?
I have a question in regards to penalties and fines and our judicial system and who imposes the fines. Okay, we've got DNR out there, and you have, I know some people had some fireworks get out of control, and everything was contained onto their own place. DNR came out, $5,000 fine. Okay, who gives them the authority to do that without, okay, I understand a traffic violation is a lesser crime, but this seems to be maybe a criminal thing, but yet they're imposing this ticket. And then I have another question. First of all, I want to know how you would address DNR, and with Renee Holiday and the Department of Ecology coming out and imposing a fine. Okay.
Was there damage?
Well, the damage was brush, and nonetheless, it was contained to the homeowner's property.
It never got off the property.
Right, his own place.
Okay.
Maybe a few trees. And anyway, that is one issue. The second issue is entities such as Border Patrol within 25 miles of our border or whatever it might be, pulling somebody over, illegal detainment, illegal search and seizure, without probable cause. I got into a discussion with them that says, well, it's the law. And I said, no, it's an illegal law. And anyway, as sheriff, how would you address those two situations?
Well, I'll go backwards really quick because we're running out of time.
Microphone.
The border, sorry, I like to move around. The Border Patrol should not be messing with the citizens at all unless they're breaking some law on the border. That's period. That'll be my policy. They should not be, because I know somebody that was pulled over by the Border Patrol personally. And it was an illegal pull, and they did get reprimanded for it by their senior. And then, as far as the DNR goes, the basic principle to justice is if you do harm or you do damage to someone else's property or cause someone else damage, then you should restore the damage. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Well, if it was on your own property, I would stand against that But Sheriff, I would go to bat for you. Because if it didn't get off your property, didn't do any damage, you have property ownership, the trees and brush, as far as I'm concerned, belong to you.
Another individual that's running for the office is touting 31 years of experience. Would you like to speak about that?
Well, a lot of people across America right now are sick and tired of system addicts. And that's why we're in the shape we're in now. We keep putting the same kind of people back in office, and we get the same thing, and nothing changes. That's the quickest way I can answer that.
Good question.
We're out of time.